Okay, I'm at it again. So this one, I've been meaning to make a video about this for a while now, but I've not had a chance to sit down and make a video about it. But here it is. So this new system that the government has adopted, I don't know how and why and who advised the current government to do what they are doing right now. But going back to the old national anthem, I mean, it's something that is bizarre, something that no one was actually expecting to happen at this point in time. Because come to think of it, how does this affect what is happening in Nigeria? How does this affect the pump price? How does it affect the price of food? How does it address inequalities in different quarters? How does it affect, or how does it kind of help with the insecurity in the country? A lot of things are washed. A lot of things are not in the right places and in the right position, and yet the government is worried about national anthem. It's so tiring to think that this is the priority of the government. Of course, the president, we've seen videos even before maybe he became president. He was saying, oh, he wish if he had his way that's Tinubu I'm talking about. If he had his way, he's going to return to the old national anthem. And well, fortunately or unfortunately, or whichever way you choose to put it, now he's the president and he has the power to do that. And he has just done it. And the thing went through the National Assembly very fast. There was no hindrance. Even the Attorney General was even advising, oh, let's check out this, let's check, make assessment and everything. But every other person was like, no, it's normal thing, let's just do it. Because they are hoping that it's going to revitalize Nigeria. It's going to make them go back to what Nigeria used to be. How does a mere word you are saying change everything that Nigeria is going through? When this national anthem was written, which is the old one, according to what I've seen, it was written by a British lady that was residing in Nigeria. So it wasn't even a Nigerian person that wrote the national anthem. Nigeria we hail thee. It wasn't even a Nigerian person. If you listen to that national anthem, you see that there are some things there you would actually think or you would want to remove. But then here we are, after 60 something years or how many years of independence, we are still going back to the same colonial masters way that we are running from. Even I think 2014, when the Goodluck Jonathan era, or was it 2014 or thereabout, that they submitted all those things that they were saying, talking about, the regional and everything like that. This was part of the recommendations actually, and they were even saying, okay, even the Nigerian name should be changed, the national flag should be changed. These things came with independence, and the independence came with colonial masters. And if in order for us to remove our hand or clear ourselves from that tie of colonialism, we should do things our own way. A lot of countries around the world have actually done things in that measure, whereby they had to change their national flag because they thought, okay, it was given to them by the old colonial masters. A lot of them had to change their names. A lot of countries had to change their name. Ivory Coast changed its name from Ivory Coast to Cote d'Ivoire. And which other one? A lot of other countries, I'm trying to remember. Ghana changed its name from Gold Coast to Ghana. Congo changed its name from Zaire, Congo, Libreville, and the rest of them to DRC Congo. So a lot of countries change their name because those names were given to them by their colonial masters. And they'd be like, okay, this doesn't represent who we are. Because the colonial masters give name based on the resources that you have. Ivory Coast, there were a lot of ivories. They were able to get a lot of ivories from Ivory Coast. Excuse me. And so they gave it Ivory Coast. Ghana, Gold Coast, there was a lot of gold mining, and they gave it Gold Coast. It doesn't reflect who they are. And then come to Nigeria and see what happened, the amalgamation. Okay, when Nigeria, the independence happened and the true federalism or whatever thing they called it was supposed to be, the talk of town and everything. We had different regions, had their own people governing them, had their own people taking care of their resources. Their resources were governed by those that had it. 50% was kept for the region, 30% was sent to the contributional or distributional pool, and the 20% was sent to the federal government. That was how it all started. And that was when this old national anthem was in play. That was when Nigeria was peaceful. Back in the days, we used to remember when you don't have to worry where your kids are. Everyone was safe. There was no issue of kidnapping. You don't even have to lock your door. You are not afraid of your neighbor. You are not afraid of anybody coming to steal your things. The Igbos lived in the north peacefully. The Northerners lived in the east. The Igbos lived in the west. The Westerners lived in and everyone was peaceful. But not now anymore. As an Igbo man living in the north, you are worried. When is the fight going to break out? Even as a Westerner living in the West, you're also worried. When is the kidnapping going to be happen? I hope I'm not in that midst of those that will be kidnapped. Because everything is now bastardized. And then we are worried about insecurity. And okay, look at food. I don't know where you are, but how much are you buying food in your area? How much are you buying fuel, diesel? There is no constant electric supply for the past how many years that we had independence. And yes, all the government is worried about is national anthem, Nigeria will hail thee. Of course, we are going to recite it. And like as usual, school has already begun learning it and teaching it to their kids. We have like the state, I think Ogun, Adamawa, and Anambra State. They are already reciting it. They've taught their kids, they taught the pupils how to sing it, and they are already reciting it. Good and fine. But the main issue is that supposed to be what we are worried about? This government that came into power last year has just spent 1 year in office. And what exactly does it have to show? Instead of focusing on what has been achieved, they are now going another route, trying to distract the people by bringing something that will bring controversy. Now, they've introduced the national anthem, and everybody is now focused on that. Oh, national anthem. Oh, this one has been changed. The discussion is now about that, and not about the governance, not about what was achieved for the past 1 year. Because if you check it, what exactly has been achieved for the past 1 year? You can hardly point other than hardship. Now, in order to distract people, not to talk about the hardship that has been meted on them by the current governor or the current government, they brought a distraction. Brought a distraction of going back to the national anthem, old national anthem. Now, people, okay, those that are not in school now, how do you think they are going to learn the national anthem? No, just tell me, how do you think they are going to learn the national anthem? It will be easy for only those that are in school that will have to recite it on a daily basis when they go to assembly ground. Eventually they will learn it. But those that are not in school or those that are in tertiary education, how do you think they are going to learn this? They may never learn it. And then it will not be a case of someone looking as if they are not patriotic. Maybe when they get to a national gathering and they are now singing the national anthem, it will not look as if people are not patriotic because they cannot sing it. And it wouldn't be their fault because they are not in schools. They hardly think about this. They have businesses to run. They have families to take care of. And not to go and sit down and be trying to memorize the national anthem. You are trying to go back to Nigeria with healthy. It's a difficult thing. And this may also be a case of what is happening in Kano now. If you are familiar with the politics in Kano, in Nigeria here, you understand what is happening. I think I should make a special video on that because these things are beginning to, people are just turning. I think political offices, there should be some way or a way to regulate those that are in office from changing things. It might actually help. Because not when this person comes in, he changes the law. The next person comes in, he changes it again. Another person comes, he changes it again. And then we are just going in cycles. And after 10, 15, 20 years, there is nothing to show because nothing is stable. Countries like Dubai, like the Middle East, Dubai, UAE, and the rest of all those areas, how or why do you think that they are flourishing? Because they don't practice the kind of democracy we practice in Nigeria. No, they have a leader. He has a foresight. He makes plan next 20, 50 years, 100 years. They make the plan and they follow through. There's nothing to worry about, okay, next 4 years, this government goes out, the next government come in, they are not going to like this policy, they will change it, they will sign this one into law, they will veto this one, they will enact it. All those shit don't exist. The leader of Dubai or the leader of the UAE, whichever one, anywhere you are there, or Bahrain, they just look at it. This is what we want to achieve. This is the roadmap we want to take, and this is it. They begin to work on. They are not afraid. They are not worried that next year the governor will change, the president will change, and then that will become a white elephant project, and they will abandon it. So I think maybe that should be the way Nigeria should go. Maybe a bill should be signed or a law, whatever should be signed. Let nobody just come in and change anything. Look at what is happening in Kano right now. A governor went in and changed Emir. That the stool of the Emir that has been there for ages, over how many 100 years, suddenly changed the Emir to someone else. And now this next governor has come now and be like, okay, that was an opposition party. He changed the Emir again. Look at the way they are just playing with rulers. Tell me how they are going to cope. Now the two emirs are having issues. Those that are not supposed to have issues, they are now having issues. Kindred, fight and everything can erupt any day in that city right now. How do you control that? So I think this is a very, very planned and deliberate distraction for Nigerians to do this old national anthem because I don't see the reason for it. It It doesn't mean we are not patriotic. Of course, we are patriotic. We'll do our best to try to learn it. But you will not expect it to happen overnight. It's going to take years. And a lot of people may never even learn it. Because like I said, people are busy with their lives, struggling. The economy is bad. Business is bad. People are losing jobs. And then you are now going to be worrying about reciting one old national anthem that was written by a colonial master, a British woman, a colonial mistress, whatever thing you want to call her, when Nigeria is facing tangent problems that should be taken care of. So this was just what I was thinking, and I think I should air it out. Let me know what you think about this national anthem. Is it even relevant at this point in time in our history? Or should it have been done, or shouldn't it have been done at all? Because I think it shouldn't have been done. There's no warrant for it right now. It is not, it shouldn't be our priorities. That's just my humble thoughts. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you.